Hello lovely people, welcome back to my channel. I know you are wondering, who is this beautiful person standing in front of you? This is my beautiful mannequin endowed with this beautiful shining bead or beautiful golden bead here. Now this is a bead crochet necklace that I made, but it's not on YouTube. And this is also a beaded ball earring with a beaded stud. Okay, so this tutorial is mainly about these two here, this beaded ball and a beaded stud. Now this tutorial is in two phases. The first one is the beaded ball, which is in detail and it's also a beginner friendly, and the second part is about the beaded stud. I already mentioned it in the video when I started to mention the the materials. Okay, yes, so this is the other piece. Okay, this is the other piece here, the other pair, and it looks so pretty, guys. I mean, I use the same beads for both, and the picture is not very clear, forgive me, because the sun is too shiny. I had to cover a little part so that you could see it clearly. Now when I begin to make the real tutorial, you get to see how the real the real colors of the beads, or how shiny it looks. It's a golden shiny bead, which looks very nice. Okay, yeah, so I mean, get your coffee, share to your friends, and let's begin. So these are the materials for this tutorial. First of all, I would need my 11 seed beads. They are glass beads and toe holes at the same time. And also the color is a gold color. And I'll also need these pearl beads. Okay, I don't know the size. I'll need the full and the half pearl beads. Okay, I don't know the size, guys, forgive me for that. Okay, but this is how it looks like in my hands. Yeah, and I'll need my studs. Of course, I'm going to prepare the studs. I'm going to glue this material to this part, because this is how I like to use my studs on my beads. Okay, so if you've been watching me for a while, you realize that every time I had to use a stud, I had to attach a material to this so that it could hold my bead really well. So I'll be doing that off camera. And of course I'll be using, or I'll need my needle, beading needle. This is what I use for my work. And then my nylon thread, and then my flathead pins, also my jump rings, and then my F6000, which is really very important for, especially with my for attaching my material or attaching the start to the final project. I'll need this. And of course my pliers, all of them. Now this is called a long nose. This is a long nose. This is the cutter. This is the round nose, and this is the curved nose plier. Okay, you need this when you are a beader, and you have, there's a point where you'll be needing all of these pliers. So yeah, and then also my pair of scissors, and then of course my beading mat. Yes, so let's start this project. Now this tutorial is going to be in two parts. The first part is about how to make the beaded ball. Okay, this is a full beaded ball, and the second one is going to be about how to make the half beaded ball, pearl bead. This is a pearl bead, half pearl bead, and half and full pearl bead. Okay, but I mean, I would like to call it balls at the same time. Yeah, so it's going to be in two parts. And I would also like to say that I measured about a meter of the thread, and so if you are using this kind of thread, please be careful when you are pulling. It's really strong, so I like to use them, and they come in nice colors as well. And in case your threads get finished, it's quite easy. I just have to pass through the beads, and then you start from where you left off, and then you are good to go. Okay, so let's just start. So first and foremost, you pick 4 beads like that. Okay, and then you get to the tail of your thread. You leave just about a little tail, and then you go like that. I wanted to zoom out, but zooming out, I feel like I'm going to lose focus, so please bear with me. Okay, then you come from here. I think I have a tutorial on this, but I'll do it again, no worries. Like that. So this is the foundation of the whole thing. The first bead is 4, foundation is 4. The second, or let's say the first row is 4 beads. This is just the foundation. So the first row itself is 4 beads. You're going to pick 4 beads in each corner. Okay. So this is what I mean by corner. You put 1 here. 1. 2. 3. 4. So this way we step up like that. We step up from here. You could see I have I'm not coming out of 1 bead, I'm coming out of 2 beads. Stepping up means that this is where I started. Okay, so when you are finishing off with the first row, you need to go through the very first and the last bead. Okay, so this is the stepping up, and you are going to come across a lot of step ups, and it's really necessary for this kind of project. Okay, so it means you are finished with the first row. The second row is 8 beads. So this is how you do it. You pick 2 beads, you go through here. I hope you can see what I'm doing. So 2 beads in each space. And then you step up. Okay, so I'm done with the second row. Now the third row, you put 1 bead in each space. So it's going to be 8 beads as well. And then I step up from here. Okay, so at this point you have to attach your pearl bead to the project, and this is how I do it. Please watch how I do this carefully. then you need to look for a space, okay, in between the beads, and then you pass through these spaces with a thread, and then you go from here as well. So you need to go through the hole on the top of the bead from here, and then through the bead up, okay, the space up the bead, so you're going to make this 4 times on each side, so 2 on each side and then 2 on the other side, so 4 times, okay. Then you look for another space, maybe I'll pick this area, and just make sure you press it very hard so that the thread is hidden in between the beads. So now we have 1, 2, 3, then we do the last one. Okay, so at this point I'm going to look for the bead that I stopped. Okay, I feel like I need to add one more here because there's a space, a white space here, so it's fine. You can do it 4, 5, 6 times depending on how you want it, so it's okay. So if I get to be off camera a little, please forgive me. Yeah, so I'm going to look for the bead. Where is that bead? So this is the bead. This is the bead I stopped. I stopped to attach the project to the pearl, so I would go from this bead. I'm kind of saying bead, bead, bead all the time because that's what I'm working with, so you would have to stick with that. Yeah, and then I was thinking is this bead, so look away, but in any case, no problem. I still have to go like that. Okay, all right, so now everything is okay. We'd have to continue with the 4th row. So with the 4th row is going to be 1, 2, 1, 2 in each space. So I'll pick my first bead. It's going to be 1, 2. One, 2. So I'm going to repeat this until I get to the end, and then I finally step up. Okay, so in total we're going to have 12 beads as well. So we'll step up from here on the 4th row. Okay, like that. With the 2 beads. So it's 1 2 1 2 in there in each space. So when you count, you should be able to get 12 beads. Okay, now let's continue with the 5th row. I'm going to put 1 bead in each space. So 1, two, and then it continues till the end. And then we'll step up. So at this point, I believe you understand how to step up. Okay, so now let me do this. I'd like to give you a general total. Now from the foundation, it's 4 rows. Now the second or the first row, did I say 4 rows? From the foundation, meaning the very first bead is 4. You pick 4 beads like I started. The first row is 4 beads, which you have 4 beads in total. The second row, you have 8 beads in total. The third row, you have 8 beads in total. The fourth row, you have 12 beads, which is 1 2 1 2 1 2. And the fifth row and the sixth row are also going to be 12 beads in total. Okay, so now I'm going to do the sixth row, which is also going to be 1 bead in each space. Okay, so I've given you a general rundown, please. So if you are found wanting, you can play back what I just said, and then you keep going. Okay, so let's go. So it's going to be 1 bead in each space. This is the sixth row. And you're going to have 12 beads. So the total number of beads is really important because you are creating something around a ball, and you should have the accurate number. Other than that, you are going to miss something out and it's not going to look nice. Okay, so you are going to have 12 beads on the in total after the sixth row. So we'll go ahead to step up from here. Okay, so this is what we have. Now we are done with the sixth row, so we move on to the seventh row. With the seventh row, we're going to have 2 1 1 2 1 1 in each space. So the first, I pick first 2 beads, 2 1. Oh my goodness. 1. And then another 2. One, 1. So this repeats until you get to your final stage to step up. Okay, and in total you're going to have 16 beads. Then I'll step up from here. So we're done with the 7th row. Now with the 8th row, I'm going to put 1 bead in each space, and in total I'm going to have 16 beads as well. And then I step up. So this is the 8th row. Okay. So whilst you do this, try to pull a little bit so that it gets, tight. All right. Now I'm going to repeat this round of 16 about 5 times and then get back to you. Okay, it's going to be the same thing, so I'll be repeating 1 1 1 in each space 5 times. And so at this is going to be, so say if this is 8, if this is the 8th row plus 5 is going to be 13, right? So I'll meet you back on the 13th row. Okay, this is how the 13th row looks like. I'm on the 13th row and I've added 5 more rows from the 8th row like I left off. Okay, so I'll go ahead to add 3 to 4 more rows and then I'll begin to close up from here, from this side. Okay, 3 to 4. Now this is my first time I'm using this kind of bead, and so somebody may ask, so what is the specific number of rows you need? I cannot give you that number because it would depend on the kind of beads you'll be using as well. Okay, so these are 11 old seed beads, and sad enough, I don't even know the size of this kind of bead I'm using. Yeah, so it's my first time I'm using this, so I would have to, if you understand the concept of how to build or how to create this kind of project, you would understand what I'm trying to say. And so when you understand how it's done or how it's calculated, when you get to the rows of 16, you'd have to know what to do. You know what I mean? Yeah, so that's how I've started this as a beginner friendly for you to understand, just to understand the concept of how it is built. Okay, so I'll go ahead to add 3 to 4 more rows of 16. Okay, and then we continue from there. I'm on the 13th row and I've added 5 more rows from the 8th row like I left off. Okay, so I'll go ahead to add 3 to 4 more rows and then I'll begin to close up from here, from this side. Okay, 3 to 4. Now this is my first time I'm using this kind of bead, and so somebody may ask, so what is the specific number of rows you need? I cannot give you that number because it would depend on the kind of beads you'll be using as well. Okay, so these are 11 old seed beads, and sad enough, I don't even know the size of this kind of bead I'm using. Yeah, so it's my first time I'm using this, so I would have to, if you understand the concept of how to build or how to create this kind of project, you would understand what I'm trying to say. And so when you understand how it's done or how it's calculated, when you get to the rows of 16, you'd have to, know what to do. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's how I've started this as a beginner friendly for you to understand, just to understand the concept of how it is built. Okay. So I'll go ahead to add 3 to 4 more rows of 16. Okay. And then we continue from there. Yeah, so instead of 3 to 4 more rows of 16, I added one more to make 5 more rows. So I made 4 rows and I added one to it, making 5. So at this point you could see we are getting to, the top here. So I have to decrease. Okay, so I'm going to pick. Guys, it's quite gloomy, sorry for that, because I like to use the daylight and I don't like to use any kind of light. I like to use the daylight, so please pardon me if it's quite gloomy. And it's a perfect light for this kind of tutorials. Okay, so let's go ahead. So with this row, I'm going to go 1. We are decreasing from here. Okay, so I'm going to go 1 1 1 1 1 1 bead in each row, and then on the fourth, did I say, why do I keep saying rows, in each space? Okay, so when I get to the fourth space, I put the needle and thread without any bead. Okay, so let's go. 1 2, let me zoom out for you to see. 3, and then this is what I meant. This is the fourth space, so I wouldn't pick any bead, then I'll just go through it like this. I'll take it one more time. So 1 2 3, and then a fourth space, I go through it without a bead. Okay, and so by so doing, you realize this is getting smaller, right? So I will repeat this until I get to step up. Okay, yes, so we are decreasing. So we'll step up from here, and then in total we're going to have 12 beads. So the next row, I'm going to put 1 bead in each space. So whilst you do it, you should try to pull it a little bit. And then I step up. Okay, So the next row is going to be, now this, please pay attention, because this is quite complicated. And so you're going to put 1. You can drift it or drop it down somewhere. Please, you can pen it down. So it's going to be 1 bead. So 1 0. 0 means you go through a bead with no you know, with no, you don't have to add any bead, you just have to go through with the needle and thread only. So 1 0, 1 1 0, 1 1 0, and then 1 1 0, and then you step up, you add 1 to it. I hope you got it. Please, if you didn't understand playback, you get to understand. So the next row, you're going to put 1 bead in each row as well. Okay, so after this row in total was 8 beads, and so this next row is going to be 8 beads as well. So 1 bead, next bead, the third bead. So you put in 1 bead in each space. Please pull whilst you move, okay? So that it could cover and then you wouldn't see any lumps. Yeah, so we'll step up from here by adding 1 more bead. Then keep pulling. So round beads, these are toe holes. Okay, round beads are very perfect for this kind of tutorial. Yeah, so if you have round bead, please keep going. You can use a round bead for this. Toe holes look like little cylinders, you know. All right, so let's go ahead. So with this is a second to last bead, second to last row. So I'll pick a bead. It's going to be, oh my gosh, what did I do? It's going to be 1 0, 1. So in total we're going to have 4 beads, okay? 0, then 1, 0, and the last one 0. One, 0. So we step out from the side. I'll go through the second bead. So at this point, this is the last row. We go through 1 bead in each space, and we're going to have 4 beads to close everything up. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 'Then the last one, 4. Then I step up. So this is it. It doesn't take that much time, but it's because it's a tutorial. That is why I have to take my time for you to understand. And I have other tutorials that look like this, yeah, that are similar. Okay, so this is just it. It's a beginner friendly as well. If you want me to repeat something, just let me know. I don't think I would have to do this again. But if you want to know something, or it's easier to play back, right? And then you would understand this better. But if there's something you want me to understand it as well, you can just comment in the comment section, and then I'll read and answer you. Okay, so you go through the 4 beads one more time just to secure it. Okay, like that. And then you go through the rest of the beads with the thread. You do the same thing to this to the very first thread, or the tail of the thread here. Okay, and then you are good to go. So I'll be doing this offline and then get back to you. So this is the final look. I know you want to ask me that why do you have some should I call this lumps in the corners here? Because this is our Toho beads, and so this is the only bead I used. I could see that certain people use different kinds of beads together, and then it becomes very, very round. And if you have round beads, they will work perfectly for this kind of tutorials. But these are Toho beads, so you wouldn't have them really, really round. So you'd have this kind of, and it's okay. I mean, it's also another style, but the tutorial is about having a round beaded ball. Okay, and this is it. I mean, this is a final look, and I just love how it ended up. Another thing I want you to understand is that I would have to, now this is the very first part of an earring I'm trying to make, and so I'd have to also make this half bead. Okay, I'd have to sew around some beads on this one as well, and it will be on another tutorial. Okay, yeah, so just for you to understand, that is why I made this before, or I made this as one tutorial, and this one will also be on another tutorial. Okay, So thank you very much for having time. Thanks for your subscription. Thanks for your support. Please keep the likes coming in. Share to your friends and let's get going. Okay. Thank you so much and see you on my next tutorial. Have a nice time. Bye.